Going.
All right, we're talking about takedowns this month for our techniques. We'll start with our two wrestling-based takedowns, our single leg and our double leg. So let's start with our single leg. I'll show you what it looks like. This is the single leg takedown, specifically a snatch single leg. This means we are not going down to the mat with our partner on the takedown. Step number one, control the hands, clear. Step number two, take a big step. Step number three, without dropping down, I'm gonna hug that leg and pull. Once I hug that leg, I'm going to push my partner not back, but down to his butt. One more time. Clear, step, hug, and push. One last time without the audio. Next up, we have our double leg takedown. I will show the traditional jiu-jitsu double leg that I expect to see on the test, and then I will also show the double leg with a lift that we briefly covered. That is your jiu-jitsu double leg. Step number one, just as before, I clear the hands. Step number two, I'm going to duck down without touching my knees on the ground. Step number three, I go heel, toe, knee. Step number four, I lock my hands. And then step number five, I drive Coach Nick down to the ground, finding myself inside his guard. Clear, I duck, I go heel, toe, knee into my shot, lock my hands, and push all the way down to the ground. And one last time. Now, I will briefly show the double leg takedown with the lift. I will not expect to see this on the test, but we did briefly cover this during the month. Next up, we have our more judo style takedowns. These exist in freestyle wrestling as well. We're doing these takedowns from our over-under position, which I personally consider superior for self-defense purposes. So, again, we will start with our inside trip, or Ōuchi Gari in judo. All of these takedowns start from our over-under. Most students should remember these if they were here last month from our butterfly guard. So, I will show you what the Ōuchi Gari looks like, and then we'll go through it step by step. That is your Ōuchi Gari, major inner reap, also known as inside trip. Starting from our over-under. Step number one, I step inside, I make a hook, heel up. Step number two, I'm going to drop that lead knee down to the ground, knee down. Step number three, I'm going to turn my chest into Coach Nick's chest, give him a big push, and once again, I find myself inside Coach Nick's guard. Once again, starting from our over-under. Ōuchi Gari, major inner reap, inside trip. Now with our Osoto Gari from the over-under. We did mention this month that from the over-under, the Osoto Gari is often a 50-50 position. So we talked about a variation that I will show you and then go through it step by step. Osoto Gari, major outer reap, outside trip. Step number one, very, very important. I'm going to create an advantage for myself by obtaining a bear hug. Step number two, once I have my bear hug, take a step to the outside. Step number three, bring my other leg through and I go knee to knee with Coach Nick. The back of my knee touching the back of his knee. And then step number four, I'm just going to trip him backwards, releasing my bear hug, and landing on top. One last time.